Hey PCC, if I don't know you already, my name's Katie, and I have a really, really exciting opportunity to put before us for the months of January, February, and March. Really quick first though, if I don't know you, you don't know this. I absolutely love baseball. And it's really funny, if I'm saying to a group of friends, hey, let's play baseball, we kind of naturally assume that a baseball is going to be in the game of baseball. Like, it's just, you can't have baseball without baseball, right? And it's funny, sometimes when we think about faith and following Jesus, we forget some of those assumptions. We forget some of those things that God just assumed were going to be a part of following him. So similar to the necessity of needing a baseball in baseball, sometimes we forget the necessity of needing prayer in faith, or of needing prayer and fasting and following Jesus. Jesus addresses this in Matthew 6 when he says, when you pray and fast. He doesn't say if you think about it or if it sounds like a fun time to you. He says when you pray and fast. And because of that, we have an opportunity as followers of Christ to obey him in this. Fasting is a spiritual practice that I have actively tried to avoid for a lot of years. I love food. It's a good gift from God, and it's just not something that I was interested in practicing. But Jesus says when you fast and pray, right? So this is something that he assumes we're going to be doing. I received a text over the summer from a couple of my family members, one of which was pregnant and about to have a baby, the other of which is coming out of chemo. And they texted me and said, hey, would you like to fast and pray for us on behalf of those who don't yet know Christ? We're going to come up with a list of names, and every Thursday we're going to fast and pray together. And I sat there and I went, well, one's doing a modified fast because they have a baby. The other is doing a modified fast because they're coming out of chemo. There's no way I can say no to this practice. I'm a healthy 25-year-old. So I said yes, more out of guilt maybe than anything. And I said I would love to practice this with you guys. And as we began doing it, I began realizing the power behind that practice that Jesus has asked us to do. The power behind giving the good gift of food away for a period of time, or in a modified way away, right? And to say, hey, I need Jesus more than I even need food. Jesus, would you work in my heart and in the hearts of those around me? So this is a practice that personally I've come alive to just this year, and I'm really excited to share with not only this congregation, but with the whole of the peninsula and the Bay Area region. It's also addressed in 1 Timothy. An assumption of following Jesus is to honor those who are in leadership above us. In 1 Timothy it says that those who are good leaders deserve honor. And we have some incredible leaders at PCC, so I'm excited to give us an opportunity, a way to honor them. From January 1st to March 31st, we are asking all PCC members, all PCC Jesus followers to join us in 90 days of prayer and fasting for our leadership at PCC. We're going to be particularly praying for 5 people, Gary Udini, Brian Wren, Carlos DeVitas, Peter Perkins, and Scott Kirksey. Here's the thing, it's a complete secret. We're not telling any of these gathering leads and lead pastors that we're going to be every single day for 90 days praying and fasting for them as a corporate church and as individual multi-site gatherings. Here's what the plan is. Every single day for the next 90 days, if you sign up, you're on an email list. Every single morning, you're going to get an email saying, here's who's praying and fasting today. Every person is going to have a specific day of the month on which they're going to pray or fast, which means you're only praying and fasting for 3 days in those 90 days. On that particular day, say you have the 17th of the month, an email will come in and say, hey, so-and-so is praying and fasting for this day. Here's all the people that are doing it today. And then at the end of the day, you're going to write us a devotional saying, here's something that I learned. Here's something that I heard from God. Here's how hard it was. I've never done this before. Whatever your experience was, you're going to share it with all of us so we can all be mutually encouraged and all be mutually cheering one another on in this. What's going to happen is, as this secret continues to play out, it's going to get closer and closer to the end of March, in which we're going to compile all of those 90 days of devotionals that we've written, and we're going to give them at each gathering to those gathering pastors and to Gary as a whole. We're going to basically hijack each service and interrupt it and call those pastors and their spouses up on the stage as a surprise and say, hey, we've been keeping a secret from you. We've been praying for you for 90 days. We're going to give all those prayers to them. I was given this idea by Matt Alseth, who's the director of youth ministries for the region for the Covenant denomination. And he is not only inviting us into this for January, February, and March, he's inviting all of the regional churches into this in the Covenant. And then on top of that, I'm inviting every youth pastor and every family pastor that I know in the peninsula to join us and to do this for their senior pastors. Guys, the potential is that we could have thousands of Christians from January, February, March fasting and praying for their leaders, for their congregations, and for what Jesus is doing in the churches in the Bay Area. I'm so excited to put this opportunity before us and to see where we could go with it. I would ask you to join us in this. I would ask you to consider joining us. If that's a modified fast, that's okay. We're not about legalism in this, but we're about putting off some good gifts in order to say we want Jesus even more, and we want Jesus for our leaders even more, and we want Jesus for our churches and our cities even more. If you're interested, there's going to be a link attached to this video that is going to get you some next steps. You can sign up at that link. We'll get all your contact information, and we'll be in contact with you before January 1st so that you'll know what day you're fasting, what this is going to look like, and what Sunday we're going to reveal it to. Thanks for considering. Love you guys so much, and I'm excited for what this could look like.